I grew up a rough life. I was taken away from my parents when I was 5 and put in foster homes. My father died in prison. I really never had anyone that I thought I could talk to or look up to or confide in. It became her.
She's suing me for over $1,000. I've only paid $750. Where's the extra money coming in? The job was done correctly. She sent me a check for $750. I consider the job done.
That makes one of us.
Well,
Plaintiff Gail Evans claims she and the defendant were very close until she had to evict him. She's suing for $4,959 for unpaid rent, utility bills, and damages to her rental property. Defendant, Tony Siple, claims the apartment was collapsing and the plaintiff evicted him. He says he owes her nothing.
The testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will.
I do.
Afternoon, Judge.
Hi.
The case of Evans versus Siple.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Evans. You are suing the defendant in the amount of $4,959 for unpaid rent and...
Utilities and some damage to the apartment after.
Why don't you tell me now what your side of the story is?
I've known Tony since February 2017, and we have had a very good relationship. I felt very comfortable with Tony. The first apartment that I rented to him from February until July.
Of what year?
1917.
2017. I do the same thing.
No, 2017. Okay.
Yeah.
So I offered him another apartment, and he accepted the other apartment, which I felt at the time would be more conducive for his growing family and had a bigger yard for his son, and it was more private than the first apartment.
Yeah.
So Tony always paid his rent on time, always.
So when did Tony move into this new apartment of yours?
July 14, 2017.
So July of 2017, Tony moves into this new apartment of yours?
Yes.
Or this apartment
Different
of yours?
apartment,
Different
correct.
apartment, right.
And I had no qualms, no misgivings about
And what
renting.
was the rent, $700 a month?
$700 a month.
$700 a month. Was there a security deposit?
Not a total security deposit because he had put a security deposit on the first apartment.
Okay.
I used some of that up, and then we just never did get so no, there was not a security deposit on this apartment.
Tony, you have children?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
So you're living in the apartment with a wife?
My wife, my 4-year-old son, now it's my newborn, and I have an adopted daughter. I have custody of her. She's 15.
Okay, so 3 kids and your wife.
Yes.
So the 5 of you living there. Okay.
At the time, you know, I'm taking care of everybody by myself. $18 an hour doing all this alone is kind of rough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm making it happen. My kids are good. That's all that matters to me. All right, so now over this period of time, we started getting really close. And I started to confide in her because she's a pastor. And, you know, I grew up a rough life.
Yeah.
You know, I was taken away from my parents when I was 5 and put in foster homes. My father died in prison. I really never had anyone that I thought I could talk to or look up to or confide in. It became her.
Mm.
I didn't know anything about a daughter. I had rented the apartment on the leases to him and his wife and his son.
Okay.
Then in last year, in 2018, they did tell me that his wife was expecting another child, and he was born in December. I had no issues with that. I was very, very happy for them.
But anyway, they're living there in the apartment, and he was paying rent.
And he worked hard. He was a hard worker, and he always paid his rent on time.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing is that when he moved into the apartment, he wasn't able to get the utilities put into his name because of low credit scores. So I told him that I would leave the electric in my name for, I think I said 3 months, to give him a chance to be able to put all the utilities in his name.
So the utilities are in your name, but every month he was paying.
Well,
at the
I
time.
believed that,
Oh,
yes.
you thought he was. Okay.
1 month in particular, that he actually took the rent by the week.
So he would pay you on a weekly basis?
Not all the time, just this one particular 5 or 6 weeks till he could get caught up.
In terms of the rent, the only thing in question is the last 2 months,
That's
February and
correct.
March. So he did always pay his rent, admittedly sometimes late.
Yes.
But he didn't leave you hanging. You always got your rent.
That's right.
Okay, so what happened at the very end? Did he just leave or was he evicted?
He was evicted.
Why?
Non-payment of rent.
Got it. Now let me hear from you.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. It started back when I first met Miss Gail, and I went to interview for the apartment. The apartment was next to her actual residence. I was renting the place. Everything was going good, I thought. About 2 to 3 months in to living there, she said that it wasn't going to work out and that she had a possible other place for rent. First of all, I really didn't want to move there because of the location. There's a lot of drugs, prostitution, and I don't want my children there.
Right.
But at the time, I had no choice.
So you moved in.
Yes. So at this time, I'm working 2 jobs during the week, 13 and a half hours a day. And then on the weekends, I would bounce. I was the doorman at 2 places. So basically, 7 days a week, no sleep, maybe 3 hours a night, taking care of my kids.
Good for you.
$700 a month. She said she would keep it the same. And it had a little backyard so my kids could play.
Okay, so you're paying $700 a month.
Right.
And everything's going as well as you can expect. What suddenly changed for you?
From the beginning, there was already issues, but I felt grateful, you know, just
To have a place to stay.
But there was already issues.
And what were the issues?
When I moved into the place, it looked like there was vagrants sleeping there. There was a lot of trash all over the inside of the unit.
But now you cleaned it up and now you moved in.
Right, now I moved in.
What's wrong with it once you moved in?
Roaches, rats.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're clean. We bought traps. We did things to take
Okay.
care of everything. Then, towards the end, our relationship started dwindling a little bit because I would late sometimes on the rent. She always worked with me.
Yeah.
Always. Now, this last time, the house fell apart. The house.
What do you mean the house fell apart?
Literally, the right side of the house caved down from the back part of my son's bedroom all the way to the
When
bed.
did that happen? Were you all at home?
It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I heard a loud.
Oh, so everyone's asleep.
Everyone's asleep.
You're in bed and you hear a loud what?
Snap, like
Whoa.
a crack noise.
As I understand it, we have a video of the place.
Yes, we do.
So maybe we could see what we're talking about.
It's messed up bad all the way around the framing of the tub. That's because it's sunk all the way down. The whole floor was about to cave in. You see how you can see now into the kitchen from in the bathroom, from the tub, all the way around? You could actually see in the spaces in between the tub and the wall outside. You could,
And when was this?
this was
I mean, because I'm trying to get dates here.
maybe 2 months.
Like February of this year.
Yes, sir. But that's not the only thing.
Yeah.
That was the major kicker.
Sure.
But I also notified her a couple of different times about the heat. Now, winter was coming up, and I thought the thermostat was broken.
Yeah.
Now, the heater is on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay? The only way to heat the inside of the apartment was for me to lift up the grate and get down there and press the button on the igniter where the
Yeah.
flame is and keep pressing it until it cuts on. And it would cut on for about 45 minutes. If someone didn't get up and take turns to keep doing that, it would get cold and my kids would be cold. So there was quite a few nights
Wow.
where we slept in the bedroom together and plugged in space heaters and just all slept in the same bed to keep warm.
So if this happened in February, and then how soon after that did you move out?
I had to move out by March 16th. Now, Your Honor, I had the money in my pocket, right? I had $1,200 to my name. But when I got the eviction notice, I had 2 choices. One, keep the money to make sure my children are okay and had a roof over their head, or pay it to her and take a chance of being out of a place and money.
Okay, I'm going to address that issue in just a moment. What I'd like to see from you, if I might, is you're claiming he was behind on utility payments?
Yes, sir.
If I could see the last bills for the utilities, because that'll tell me how much you're in arrears.
Here they are. I have all 3 of them, gas, electric. And, Your Honor, February's already gone. We're into March. And Tony sends me a text saying the house is falling in. And I'm going, what? What are you talking about? He said it happened Friday night. I sent someone up Saturday. And they found that underneath the bathtub, there had been so much water leakage from the tub overflowing that it had damaged one place that holds the floors. I don't know what it's called. When we were there for the walkthrough, I said, Tony, are there any roaches here or any mice? I never heard of rats. He said, no, there's no roaches and there's no mice. I just feel, Your Honor, that I really was good to him and his family. And you ask him and you ask me what caused the issue between us and why I stopped being lenient. And that was when he threw 2 things in my face that just hurt me so bad. One was that I said, this isn't working anymore, Tony. You're not listening to me, you're not working with me, so therefore, I want you to find another place to live. So he said, you call yourself a Christian, huh? That hurt me real bad.
Okay.
These are more pictures of the damage and what I was living with. This is the text message. It's explaining.
That you sent to her?
Yes, sir.
Stove doesn't work anymore. The whole left and the side of the house caved in. There's a break in the ceiling. A whole bunch of stuff here without going through details. Here's what I'm concluding. I think the utility bills, you are required to pay those, and it may take some time to pay them, but you do have to pay the utility bills.
Yes, Your
but
Honor.
I am not going to make him pay for, first, the rent for February and March, because the place was, for 99% of the population, uninhabitable.
That's not
Okay.
true.
Well, he certainly
I-
is pointing out. Secondly, that's what I'm reaching. He's not going to pay for February and March. So I see a person who could use some help. And he wasn't malicious. And he's living in a place that, honestly, you and I are lucky enough not to have to live in. And so, therefore, I fine for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,531.
She's a good woman, and I wish that we could have worked it out, you know, not here. But my children is all I have. That's all I know. You know, she put me in a place to feel like I was in search of a handout when I'm a hard worker and I need a hand up.
I believe that Judge Jury did try to be fair. I just thought it was maybe not, you know what, it was fine. It was just fine. Thank you.
Plaintiff Candy Meachum is suing the defendant for $1,062 for a botched bathroom remodel. Defendant Kenneth House claims the plaintiff said his work was perfect. He says he owes her nothing.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is case number 203 on the docket, Meachum versus House.
Okay, let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Meachum, and you are?
I'm her son, Roy.
Good to have you here. You are suing the defendant, Mr. House, for $1,062 for what you call a botched bathroom renovation.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear your side of the story, and then I'll get to you.
I'm here concerning the job that was done on the shower
Yes.
in my vacation home in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
What did you ask the defendant to do, and what did he do?
Just to repair the shower.
Oh,
I had
to-
actually torn it out down to the studs.
Okay, so you wanted him to repair the shower?
Yes, sir.
Is that a tub or
More
a
accurately, to finish it, it needed to be refinished.
Okay,
So he was going to basically restore it to be like new.
okay.
I had taken the shower door out, and it left, it had pulled some of the finish off of the bathtub.
So we're looking at a bathroom where the walls are torn down around
Yes,
the
sir.
tub. Okay.
His advertisement advertised, "Will restore your bathtub like new." And so that's what I anticipated.
Okay, can I see the contract you had?
Actually, it's text messages. that
Text
we just
messages,
sent back
that'll
and
do.
forth.
That'll do. Najee,
And we
thank
agreed
you.
to $750 in labor plus the cost of the supply.
Okay.
She's suing me for over $1,000, and I've only paid $750. Where's the extra money coming in at to play?
I have the receipts here.
Oh, for the materials?
Yes,
For the
sir.
materials, okay.
This
Yeah.
is the, and he
Okay,
picked
I'll-
up the
If there is a
Yes,
crack
sir.
in the surround, I'll caulk it and finish. You'll never even know it. If there's any liquid nails, I can clean that up.
The liquid
but-
nails, he used a steel wool pad to try to scour that off of which scratched, and I have that in pictures also, scratched the surround, and everything was just
But
messed up so
like I say, Your
poor-
Honor, when I got done with the
poorly.
job, so here's my pictures. I sent her these pictures. She was satisfied enough with these pictures that she sent me a check for $750. I consider the job done. Well,
That makes one of us.
Well,
When
did he show you a picture
Yes,
of what
sir.
it was when it was finished?
These are pictures, and this shows after he finished it. He said, "I'm done." And the first page, and the text messages go along with that, and it shows there was still tape there, and there was gaps in the shower surround, and I.
Okay, so the pictures I'm looking at here are the pictures that you sent to the plaintiff.
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I got.
Well,
I have
show him
pictures.
show him
I
these
have,
pictures.
I have pictures right here that I took, and I know.
That looks
And there was
like
a-
pictures after work was done because there's still
Yes.
tape there, et cetera.
And then that's
okay.
the text message.
Yeah, you have to leave the tape on there until the caulk behind it dries.
I asked him about the liquid nails, if that would come off of the surround, and he assured me that it would.
Okay. When I look at the pictures look okay.
But there's some
I mean, you
gaps, but the
you
picture
approved
looks,
it.
Well, the pictures look pretty good. And then when I showed up in person, it was a different story.
What happened when you showed up in person?
She had asked me to go on her behalf. I actually live closer to the home that she
Okay,
So,
so you
but-
went to look at it.
Prior to his looking, he asked me, he said, can you send me the money? He was kind of pressing me to send, and I thought, he deserves to be paid.
Is this the text? I'm at the house. Sure doesn't look like it was sanded to me.
Yes, sir, that was after, and he told me that he would sand it smooth where the shower doors had been, and he would repaint it. And then it shows later, he says, yes, I did. And then I took a picture afterward, and where I sent him a text and said, it doesn't look like it's completed to me.
Yeah, and based
And
on this
so-
picture, that is true. It doesn't look like
Yes,
it's
sir.
sanded.
Right.
That is the picture of the tub, and it doesn't look like it's sanded. Now, your chance.
That needs to be sanded. It does. I agree. That does need to be sanded.
And
Yeah.
And that
It
was
does need to
after
be.
you had said that you had resanded
Okay.
it.
I'm still
Yes.
willing to sand that. I'll sand that today. That's no
Yeah.
problem. Your Honor, as Ms. Meachum stated, she's seen my ad on Facebook that I
Yes.
refinished bathtubs.
Yes.
Been doing this 10 years. I'm licensed, bonded, certified, all that stuff. She contacted me, and so I went over to the house, which was a vacation home of hers. I told her what material I would need, the steps with the job, how much I would charge, and what she would have to do. So we agreed. We came to an agreement on price. She went online on Lowe's, and she ordered the material that I gave her a list of what to order. She ordered
Yes.
it. She was out at the home. She told me where a key was outside. I got the key, opened the door. I went in. The shower, she had taken out all the sheetrock and all the tile. So
Yes.
it was down to the bare studs. So I put in new sheetrock all the way around. Then I put in a new plastic surround, which came in
5 pieces.
5 pieces. You had 2 side panels right here.
Yes.
A side panel, a big panel in the back.
Yes.
And corners like this. I had to drill holes for the shower, for all the faucets. I put that up. When I got done with that, I taped all that off, and I used an epoxy finish, and I refinished the whole bathtub.
You've got to admit, that doesn't look refinished.
Yeah, that needs to be sanded.
If he would just refund the labor cost, I would eat the cost of the materials, because I had to have it redone, of course. I
Yes.
mean, you can tell from the pictures that it's a mess.
Here's what I think I've...
So you've already had it redone now?
I have had it redone.
Okay.
And
Okay. All right.
You got pictures of what it looks like now?
I do.
We do,
I
actually.
do.
Looks great.
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
nice.
I admit that the place looked real messy afterwards. But we don't have lawsuits because...
The only
nails
mess
were-
I left, Your Honor, I left a piece of plastic on the floor.
I
that
have
put down.
pictures.
Okay, but that's not... I'm not
How do I
giving...
know these pictures are from the person that she had come repair my work or whatever?
No one else was working on the house.
I am finding for the plaintiff in the sum of $750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just make sure it's done right the first time.
The job was done correctly. I did not leave a mess. And I did offer to fix, and she never let me do it.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have 2 options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.